Looking to improve your fitness business while keeping your bottom line in good shape? Let the Gym Administrator help you achieve those goals. With their powerful team of fitness industry professionals at the ready, the Gym Administrator covers a wide range of industry-related products and services that will help you build your business and increase profits. The Gym Administrator works with reliable industry suppliers and vendors that place a heavy emphasis on service, just the way you remember it. Give them a call at 914-494-1066 or visit them on the web at thegymadministrator.com as well as all social media platforms. The Gym Administrator, all your fitness needs under one roof. Scan the barcode at the bottom of the screen to get started today.
What wrestler got you into wrestling? What match got you into wrestling? And what is your favorite match of all time? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the glitzy one. It's what means to the Pharaoh.
Okay. Question number one, what wrestler got me into wrestling? Do I have that right?
Yep.
Okay. It wasn't so much the wrestler, an individual. It was the wrestling. And I don't think you'll find that too surprising, Mike. I loved watching professional wrestling. I was very, very intrigued by it. And back in those days when we were kids, it was presented to us as real. And I took it as another sporting event. I took it very seriously. And in a lot of ways, I still do, believe it or not. But I'm sure you know how much I still respect and love professional wrestling. It was the wrestling itself. It's when you come along and I get you into wrestling where I start to think about, well, I never thought about favorites. I just enjoyed watching all of them. You know, I didn't have I hate this guy or I love that guy. It wasn't there yet. So as far as the first wrestler that really, it's Greg Valentine. That's all there is to it. It is Greg Valentine. I gravitated towards him. I liked his no-nonsense approach. I love the fact that he was a wrestler's wrestler and that he had those ham hocks. He just beat you down. He presented himself as a villain, and what a delicious villain he was. Those robes were fantastic. He was a pit bull. And the way he would also slowly break down your leg. He would start with the elbows to the leg. By the time the match was over, you were rendered useless and helpless. Greg Valentine was the prototype of what a villain should be back in the early 80s.
What is your favorite match of all time?
Was there okay, there's three questions though, right? I want to make sure we got this straight. My favorite match of all time. That's rough, all right? I'm probably emotionally. Look, as far as the clinic, you'll hate my answer. But as far as emotionally, I would have to say it was when all those 70,000 plus in Canada decided that they weren't going to root against the bad guy Hulk Hogan. They were going to root for him.
Good match.
And the match was so rewarding to me because I had been taking so much heat from anybody I talked to wrestling about, because at that time Hogan was coming off of destroying WCW. We now know that that's not really the case. There were a lot of factors destroying WCW, not just Hulk Hogan.
Well, you were about to give me that Steamboat Flair bullshit. I knew it was about to come out of your mouth.
No,
okay.
I wasn't.
Right.
You know what? I wasn't. And just for that, I will tell you, the greatest clinic I've ever seen, and you're gonna vomit. I know you are, but it was the. I know you are, but I actually thought to myself, I'm like, this is the sickest wrestling clinic I've ever seen. It's so physical, and there's so many moves happening, and it was across the ocean. It was in New Japan when Omega and Okada had their trilogy. I love that. I know that makes you sick. I'm sorry.
Can you go back and watch it over and over again?
No, you can't, because like a good movie, you have to invest an hour each time. It's like one of those situations. In a movie, it's 2 hours usually, hour and a half, 2 hours. But in this case, they were marathons. I think they were like 47 minutes, 53 minutes, an hour. There was an hour one, a stalemate in there. It was insane. And it felt like a sporting event because the way the announcers, even though I couldn't speak the language, you could hear how serious. This sounded like a sporting event. The crowd was fantastic. The matches were incredible, just on a clinic level. But emotionally, I'm going straight for Hogan Rock, and I'm
Love it.
going for it over what I just said about the
Very
trilogy,
good.
of course.
All right, listen, we're on it. We're on a time. We got 10 minutes, and this is
All right.
all you now. We're gonna play a
All
game
right.
with each other. All right. So I was thinking,
Okay.
let's play a game. Wrestling is different now. Please
Yeah.
tell me your thoughts on these wrestlers I'm about to name from the past.
All right.
Do you think they would make it in today's pro wrestling? Are you ready?
Shoot.
The great Bruno Sammartino.
No.
Why?
No, because Bruno was perfect for his time. But if Bruno Sammartino stayed just the same, his mic skills would not go over with these crowds. He would get wutted to death. He might even get boring chants. His style of wrestling is no longer really, something you see. Sure, you see arm drags, and you don't even see bear hugs barely, let's be honest. You see arm drags and punches and kicks, but at the pace that Bruno did them back in the day would not be acceptable today. You couldn't even turn him bad. I mean, what would you do with him? You'd probably have to shave his head.
I agree with you. He's great for his time, would not be great for now.
He's the best for his time.
All right.
The best.
Ultimate Warrior.
No. No, because today, behind the scenes, there is a lot less of divaism. He would never be tolerated in today's business, and he barely survived back then. Vince tolerated for as long as he could, and then he fired him. So I think Jim Hellwig, the man, would not make it in today's business at all.
I agree with you.
At all.
Excellent.
You
Number
know.
3, the Dudley Boys.
Yes. The Dudley Boys would make it in today's day and age. Absolutely. People
Would they
still
be as revered though?
Yes. Yes. If I'm putting a prime Dudley Boys on the stage, absolutely. Their gimmick is timeless. They are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And I do believe that they would fit in with today's deal.
Okay.
They would. They can wrestle the style that would make the fans happy, and they were excellent. Bubba was great on the mic. So, yes, I think the Dudley Boys would do just fine.
Sherry Martel.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, Sherry would probably be champion and then go manage Roman Reigns.
Pretty
How about
good.
that?
That's great.
There you go.
I'm not sure about the Dudleys, but I'm going to go with you. I think you made a good enough case. I agree with you on Martel. Friend of the show, good friend of the show, the great Tito Santana.
Well, here's the unfortunate thing with Tito. Tito would make it in today's business. He's a good person, and he would be able to do business, okay? Tito would unfortunately probably get lumped in with the LWO. Tito wouldn't get to be Intercontinental Champion unless, maybe like Santos Escobar. You know what I'm saying? And it would all be, by the way, total, background profiling. Oh,
Right.
you're Spanish? Go in the LWO. Nobody screams about that. And you know what? That's cool. I don't care. Either way, it's a show. All right? But I think that Tito would probably wind up in the LWO. I can't see him getting.
So that would be a no, basically, right? He would just be a mid-carder.
You know what? It's going to be a yes because I still think he'd make it in the business and he'd be popular.
We didn't say Sammartino wouldn't make it in business. We're just I'm saying, would they be as big as they were then now?
Tito, no, I don't think he would get the chance to be as big as he was. No.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yes. If he's in his prime, yes. And if you're putting him with Paul Heyman or somebody like that, or Paul Ellering or whatever, yes. He's a good talker, and he was a bruiser. And I do think that for some reason he would translate. He was pretty flashy with the robes and the way he carried himself. I think he would make a great bad guy. Today we don't see enough bad guys.
Very good. I like that. Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
Never. He would wind up being booked as a comedy act and I got kids on a shirt.
Agreed.
He's not big enough.
John Tolos.
No. John Tolos was a great villain for the West Coast back in the day when his role was he perfected his role. I don't think that he would make it today. No.
The Von Erichs.
Yes. Cody Rhodes is a good old boy, and he's doing a good job. I know we can debate about that, but I think that Cody Rhodes is making a wonderful face a good American vibe going on him. He's coming across like a class act. I think that the Von Erichs, I've said it before to you, that I feel that the Von Erich family is pro wrestling's Dallas Cowboys. Okay, and they're it's a great family.
Did you have a chance to watch the movie, The Iron Claw, yet?
No, I'm pushing. I'm pushing. We're gonna watch it. It's just that we're both, we haven't been able to get it into our schedule, but I want to see it with her.
Very interested to see your. I will tell you.
I want to see it, but I do think that if you're talking the three brothers, especially obviously the big three brothers, yes, they could make it.
Agreed. And finally, the immortal Hulk Hogan.
If it's, it's weird. If it's NWO Hogan, yes. If it's Hulkamania Hogan, no.
Wow.
No.
Nice.
Well, that's, and I'll tell you what, that's not me talking. That's a reflection of society talking. Okay? They wouldn't buy any of it. We're too busy deconstructing America. Think about it. When you see how people post on social and some of the crap that flies out of their mouths about this country. Now, we're not on the same page we were during the Ronald Reagan years. I don't think that Hulkamania is running wild. Say your prayers and take your vitamins would go over now. I don't. I mean, it would be nice if it did, but that's not where society's at. It's just not. NWO Hogan?
You know what? Now that you
Absolutely.
say it, yeah. And NWO Hogan, I think, could get over, but only for a very short time, right?
Oh, he could get over. He could have in his prime, if he's NWO Hogan, he could pull a Roman Reigns with his faction.
But isn't it funny? Like if we took Roman and put him back in San Martino's time, Roman would be over back then. He's over now.
Well, you know what? If you take away, I'll really hammer your point here because I do agree with it mostly. If you took Roman Reigns and put him back in those days, took away the bloodline. Okay, maybe he has a manager. Maybe let's say we put him with Wizard.
Right.
Okay, and he does the ruthless shit that he's been doing for the past, record-breaking amount of years and stuff. He tells a great story in the ring. You can hate him all you want, but there's a reason why all his matches feel real, and that he might lose the belt, and then he wins anyway. There's a lot to be said about how he tells the story in the ring that doesn't get any credit here, and to me, that's pathetic. How do you guys not see that?
Isn't it funny how when Roman wrestled guys that you were sure he's going to beat, you kind of thought he could still lose.
Right.
But with these Cody matches, it's like, I'm not watching because there's no way any of these guys are beating this guy. They got to me, they got a problem on their hands. It's going to wear thin. It's going to wear thin quickly.
Well, time will tell. I mean, so far, I think he's done fine. Is it Roman Reigns? No, not at all. Not at all. I prefer Roman Reigns, but it doesn't matter at this point.
No, I get it.
Well,
I don't want wrestling to lose its momentum. That's what I'm worried about.
Right.
It's been on such a good streak. I don't want it to fall apart. All right, Jimmy, we're out of time. I want to say thank you for really two great shows. Great point. I want to remind everybody next week at 9 o'clock on the main show, we've got the great Ulysses Diaz, MMA fighter, bare knuckles fighter, boxer, total real deal. And then you'll have This Week in Pro Wrestling. We promise no more what-a-day conversations. You've been watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monty DeFaro. Catch us on the Monty DeFaro YouTube page, the Monty DeFaro Facebook Live page. Here's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, the Monty DeFaro Twitch TV page. And if you're lucky enough to live in New York, Channel 15 every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. and Saturday at 11:30 a.m. and Channel 20 on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Jimmy, you want to send us out?
Absolutely. You've been watching Monty and the Pharaoh, and until next week, later.